The sky over planet Dathra was burning. Red fire and black smoke covered everything. Loud sounds of war filled the air, gunfire, bombs, alien screams. It was the biggest battle between humans and the alien race, called the Vornok. Both sides had lost many soldiers. But Earth's hope stood with one-man commander Jaren Cole. Jaren was tall, strong, and brave. He had won more battles than anyone else. Soldiers followed him without fear. They called him the Iron Wolf. Jaren stood on a hill, holding his plasma rifle, eyes scanning the battlefield. His armor was black and heavy, with glowing blue lines running across it. His face was tired, but focused. Around him, his team waited for his order. "The Vornok are pushing from the north side," said Sergeant Lena. "We won't hold them for long." "We don't need to hold," Jaren replied calmly. "We finish it." He gave a hand signal. His team moved forward. Jaren ran down the hill, bullets flying around him. Alien plasma hit the ground beside him, melting rocks. His boots slammed into the muddy earth. He didn't stop. He charged straight into the fight. The Vornok were huge, beast-like creatures with hard armor and sharp claws. One of them jumped at Jaren. He ducked and shot it in the chest. Another tried to bite him. He stabbed it in the eye. All around him, humans were fighting hard but dying fast. Then it happened. A blast came from above. A Vornak sniper, hiding on a cliff, fired a burning red beam straight at Jaren. He didn't see it. The shot hit his chest. His body flew backward, landing hard on the ground. Commander down. Someone screamed. Lena ran to him, falling beside his body. His eyes were open but empty. His chest was not moving. The blue lights on his armor faded. He was dead. The battlefield slowed. Soldiers looked in shock. Even the Vornok paused. The Iron Wolf had fallen. 2-3 seconds passed. Silence. Then something moved. Jaren's fingers twitched. Lena gasped. "No, that's not possible." His eyes opened, but they were glowing bright blue. He sat up slowly, like someone waking from a deep dream. His wounds were gone. His armor started glowing. Again, even brighter than before. "Commander," Lena whispered. He didn't answer. Jaren stood up, his movements smooth. He looked around as if he saw things no one else could. The air around him shimmered. The ground under his feet cracked. The Vornak screamed and ran back in fear. One of them shouted in its own language, the marked one. "He is reborn." What are you?" Lena asked, stepping back. Jaren turned his head slowly. His voice came out cold, deep, and not fully human. "I am still Jaren Cole, but something else is inside me now." He walked forward, each step shaking the ground. His body was human, but there was something inside, something ancient. Soldiers around him lowered their guns. The Vornok retreated, terrified. Jaren walked to the spot where he had fallen. He looked down at the burned ground, the same place where his heart had stopped. He knelt and touched it. A circle of blue light spread out in all directions. It hummed with strange energy. Everyone stared. "What is this?" Lena asked. Jaren looked up at the sky, eyes glowing brighter. "It's beginning." He said, "What's beginning?" she asked. He didn't answer. Later that night at the human command base, doctors ran tests. Jaren sat quietly. Machines beeped around him, but none of them could understand what he had become. "No heartbeat," the doctor said. "But he's alive. He's breathing. He's thinking." General Marcus stood outside the glass room watching. "That's not the same man," the general said. "He's dangerous," another officer replied. "He should be locked down." "But he saved the battle," Lena said. The Vornok ran. "Because of him?" General Marcus nodded. "Yes, but at what cost?" And Jaren's Mingarin was not asleep. But he was somewhere else. He stood in a place of stars and dark skies. A voice echoed in his head. "You have been chosen." "Or?" "You?" Jaren asked. "We are the architects. You are the first human to survive the merge." "Merge? Merge with what?" "The core. Suddenly, Jaren saw flashes, stars dying, worlds burning. A great machine made of light and shadow. Then he heard one more thing. The galaxy will change. And it begins with you. Back in the real world, Jaren opened his eyes. Lena was sitting nearby. Did you dream? She asked. Jaren looked at her and spoke one word. War. Commander Jaren Cole sat alone in the glass chamber of the Earth. Base's armor had been removed. Wires were connected to his skin. Machines beeped and scanned him, but nothing made sense. His heart didn't beat. His body didn't breathe like a normal human. Yet, he lived. Outside the room, doctors and officers watched him through thick glass. They whispered to each other. Some were afraid. Some wanted answers. He died, said one scientist. I saw the scan myself. No pulse. Brain activity stopped. And now he's alive, said General Marcus. Not just alive changed. Inside the room, Jaren stared at the wall, silent. His body felt strong, stronger than before. He remembered the battle. He remembered falling. But after that, things got strange. He saw things in his dreams, strange stars, glowing machines, and words in alien languages. The strange part was, he understood those words. That morning, a nurse gave him a glass of water. When she dropped her pen, Jaren picked it up without thinking. He looked at it, then paused. Delta T model, he said quietly. Carbon shell. Inner ink core. Designed on Glavin Prime. The nurse froze. What did you say? Jaren blinked. I don't know. Later, that day, Sergeant Lena came to visit. She sat beside the glass. They're scared of you, she said. Even the generals. They don't know what to do. Jaren looked at her with tired eyes. I don't blame them. You saved us, Jaren, she said. You came back from death, and the enemy ran. I didn't save anyone, he replied. I became something else. Something I don't understand. Lena leaned forward. Then tell me, what's happening to you? Jaren sighed. He looked down at his hand. Last night I had a dream. I was standing above a giant machine, bigger than any city. It was floating in space. I saw a map, but it wasn't a human map. It showed planets I've never seen before. Paused. And I knew where they were. I knew their names. I knew. Their history. Lena stared at him. How? I don't know. But those memories, they're not mine. Emergency meeting, Earth Council inside a dark meeting room. Earth's top leaders. And scientists gathered. A large screen showed images of Jaren's brain scans. Strange lights flashed across his neural network. This isn't human, said Dr. Wren. We think an energy or intelligence entered his body 23 seconds after death. You mean he's possessed? Asked one commander. Not exactly. More like ... he's been merged with something. General Marcus stood. We need to know. Is he a threat? Dr. Wren hesitated. We don't know, but something sent a signal through him. Signal that reached deep space. Everyone went silent. What kind of signal? Marcus asked. The doctor replied, we don't know, but other species might have heard it. Meanwhile, in the stars, a distant planet, light years away, a group of tall, silver-skinned aliens known as the Zakari received the signal. One of them looked at the glowing screen. It has begun, she said. Another spoke. The core has found a human host. The others will come. They all looked at each other. Fear filled the room. Then we must act, before it's too late. Back on Earth, Jaren's room that night. Jaren sat in silence again, but something changed. The lights flickered. The air felt heavy. Strange buzzing sound filled his ears. Then his eyes rolled back. He wasn't in the room anymore. He stood in the middle of space, stars all around. Front of him was a being made of light and lines, a strange shape. Always shifting, the being spoke. You are the chosen bridge. The first human to hold the memory of the architects. Who are you? Jaren asked. We built peace. We failed. Now you must try. I'm just a soldier. Not anymore. The galaxy is watching. Your time is short. Sabine raised its hand. A giant map appeared. It glowed with thousands of stars. One of them turned red. This is the first. It will fall soon. Unless you go. Jaren gasped. He knew the name of the planet Veltrax 9, but he had never heard it before. How do I know this? He whispered. Because you were reborn. Jaren wakes up. He gasped for breath. His hands shook. Lena was there. You all right? I saw something. A planet. Veltrax 9. It's going to be destroyed. I saw it on a star map. I don't know how, but I think I have to go there. Lena stared at him. It's not a name from Earth records. Jaren nodded. I think that map wasn't human, and neither is the mission. In the shadows, the enemy watches far away. In a dark Vornok warship, a commander growled. The human carries the core. Another Vornok hissed. Then we must end him now.
Ow!
Before he remembers what he truly is. The stars above Earth were silent, but far beyond them. In the cold space between galaxies, something ancient had awakened. It began the moment Jaren Cole came back from the dead. He didn't know it. But when his eyes opened after those 23 seconds, his body sent a signal. It was not a human signal. It was older than any race in the galaxy. A pulse of light and code moved faster than any ship, reaching places long forgotten. Some listened, some feared, and some prepared for war. Earth base. Secret science. Lab inside a dark lab deep under the Earth's surface. Scientists studied the strange readings coming from Jaren. His body was quiet now. But the data kept changing. Something left him, said Dr. Wren. Not physically, but a wave signal. They played it on the screen. A strange sound echoed. High-pitched, mixed, with symbols and light patterns. It didn't match any known alien language. But Jaren understood it. He stood behind the glass, eyes glowing faintly, watching the screen. That's not just a signal, he said. It's a call. A call to what? Lena asked. He looked at her. To those who remember the architects, the ones who came before us all, across the galaxy. The old machines wake on a desert planet called Harn 5. Long-dead machines suddenly powered on. They rose from the sand, their eyes glowing blue. For thousands of years they had waited. Now, they moved again, in a dark ocean on Kavrakstu. A giant metal tower blinked once, then sent its own message back into space. On a moon no one visited anymore. A voice spoke inside an old radio. The core has returned. Vornok High Command inside. A cold, black chamber. The Vornak leaders sat in a circle. Their bodies were large, covered in dark armor. Their faces had no eyes, only glowing red lines. They watched a screen showing Jaren's face. He is the host, growled one Vornok. The signal came from him. The core chose a human, that is unexpected. One of them, the oldest, spoke slowly. If the core has returned, the galaxy lock may open again. That cannot happen. If it does, the balance will fall, and we will lose the stars. Then the human must die. Before he remembers what he is, Jaren's mind, the architect's memory that night, Jaren slept. But his dreams were not human. He stood in a sky made of data and stars. A voice spoke again. You were the first to survive the merge. You now carry what we once were. Jaren looked around. Why me? Because humans are bold and because you died. The right moment. He saw visions machines building galaxies, peace across the stars, then war, betrayal. The architects fell. They locked away their power, calling it the core, sent it into deep space, waiting for someone worthy to find it. You were the first to die near the spark, the voice said, so it came to you. Earth's response in the morning. Earth's military was in panic. Every deep space scanner picked up the signal, said an officer. Other species are reacting. They think we're activating a weapon, General Marcus said. We don't even know what it is. Alina stepped forward. We should let Jaren go. Everyone turned to her. She explained. He says the galaxy is changing. He needs to reach something called the galaxy lock. That sounds like a trap, someone muttered. No, Jaren said from the doorway. It's a shield, a system that once kept peace. But now it's broken. If we don't repair it more, wars will come. Earth won't survive the next one. General Marcus stared at him. How do you know this? Jaren's voice was calm. Because I've seen it. In my head. Or maybe. In their memories. Lena and Jaren outside the base later that night. Jaren and Lena stood under the stars. Do you really believe the architects were real? She asked. I didn't before, he replied. Now, feel them, like they're part of me. Their pain. Their hopes. Their warnings. She nodded. Then what's next? We follow the signal, he said. It's leading me to a place. A system near the edge of the galaxy. The signal keeps repeating 3 words. What words? Jaren looked up at the sky and said slowly, Veltrax 9. Arrival. Judgment. Lena looked nervous. Sounds like trouble. Jaren smiled slightly. It always is. Final scene, Deep Space Watcher. Somewhere far away, a single alien ship floated in darkness. Inside, a creature opened its eyes as the signal passed through its system. Its face turned toward the stars. It whispered, The Iron Wolf has awakened. The game begins again. Late days later, Earth orbits the Earth's military. Ship Vigilant Dawn floated in the black sky. Its engines were quiet. Its crew stood ready, but not for war. They were guarding Jaren Cole. Jaren stood in the observation deck, looking out the window. Stars filled the view. But his mind was elsewhere. I can feel the direction, he whispered. Like a compass in my blood. Lena stood beside him. You sure this is the right place to go? This planet, Veltrax 9, it's not even on our maps. It's not a planet, it's a memory, Jaren said, but now it's real. The core is leading me there. General Marcus gave the final order. The architects left something. Dangerous there, you will shut it down. Do not bring back something that can destroy Earth. Jaren nodded. Understood, but you should worry about what's already coming. Veltrax 9 arrived. The ship jumped into a strange system. There was no sun, just a dying red star in the distance. Orbiting it was a cold, dark planet. The scanners showed broken satellites, wrecked ships, and floating metal pieces. This place looks dead, said the pilot. Good, Jaren said. Because if it wakes up, we won't survive. They landed the ship near a huge canyon. Strange black towers stood tall in the distance. The walls of the canyon had markings not human, not Vornak. Symbols that pulsed with blue light. Lena stepped closer to them. These look like a code, there, Jaren replied. It's the architect's language, and they're waiting for me. Inside the canyon, Dran walked alone through the canyon. As he stepped forward, the walls lit up. The symbols moved like they were alive. Lena and the team followed carefully. Behind, at the end of the canyon, stood a large door, shaped like a circle. In the center was a handprint glowing faintly. Jaren raised his hand and pressed it to the door. The ground shook. The door opened. Inside was a round chamber filled with floating lights. In the middle, a platform rose. It showed a 3D map of the galaxy moving, alive and beautiful. It had red lights in some places, and blue shields in others. This is... Lena began. The galaxy shield, Jaren said. This is what the architects built. It could stop any weapon, shut down any war fleet. But it's broken now. How do you know? Because I remember building it. Lena looked at him. You weren't alive back then. But the architects were. And their memories. Live inside me now. Back on Earth, emergency, a large alien ship appeared near Earth's outer defenses. It did not attack, but it sent a warning. A hologram appeared inside Earth's command center. A tall, silver alien looked around calmly. I am Alren of the Kaitari. Al. The human named Jaren Cole carries a piece of the architect core. That core is not safe. If it activates fully, it could change everything. General Marcus replied, Change how? It could stop war, but only through control. Mind control, system control. Peace by force. The last time it was used, 6 species vanished. Marcus frowned. So you want us to kill him? No, Alren said. We want you to choose. Either guide him, or end him before he reaches the next key. Then the signal ended. back on. Veltrax 9, the future of the platform, showed Jaren and Lena a scene something from the future. Cities burning, ships falling from the sky, planets exploding, and above all of it, a huge figure made of light and metal. It looked like Jaren, but not fully. A mix of human and machine. "That's you," Lena said in fear. "That's what I become," Jaren said quietly. "If I don't stop it, then don't activate it," she begged. "I don't have a choice. If I stop now, this future still comes. If I go forward, maybe I can change it." He looked at the platform. This war, this coming storm, it's not between humans and aliens. It's between what we were and what we're becoming. Suddenly, an attack, the canyon shook again. But this time, it wasn't the door. Vornak soldiers burst through the entrance. They had followed the ship's trail. Their weapons glowed red. "Destroy the human," they shouted. "Do not let the core awaken." Jaren stepped forward.
Us.
Hands glowed blue. He didn't pick up a weapon. Instead, he raised one hand, and all the Vornak guns powered down. The Vornak froze. "How?" one growled. "I'm not here to fight you," Jaren said. "I'm here to stop something worse." "Then all of us," the Vornak commander snarled. "We don't trust the core. We saw what it did before." "Then help me fix it," Jaren said. The Vornak standoff for a long moment. The Vornak aimed their claws and blades at him. Then slowly one of them lowered his weapon. "If you betray us, we'll end you." Jaren nodded. Fair end scene. Peace for a moment back at the ship. Lena looked at Jaren. "You just stopped a war." Without firing a shot, Jaren nodded. "The real war is still coming, but now at least we have a chance." The ship Vigilant Dawn left Veltrax 9 quietly. Jaren Cole stood near the window again. His eyes were tired, his mind full of noise. Not the sound of engines or people, but voices. Strange voices, old voices. He had heard them ever since he touched. The architect machine. Lena entered the room and saw the look on his face. "You're hearing them again, aren't you?" Jaren nodded slowly. "They don't stop. They're not just memories. They're real. Like ghosts, trapped inside me." "Whose voices?" she asked. Jaren turned toward her. His eyes glowed faint blue. "Soldiers. Scientists. Builders. All of them. Dead for thousands of years. But they left their voices behind, and now they speak to me." Later, inside the med by Jaren lay on a scanner bed. Dr. Wren and a small team studied his brain signals. What they saw shocked them. "He's receiving signals inside his own mind," Wren said. "But these signals are not. From his body, they're like echoes." "Echoes of what?" Lena asked. Wren looked worried. "People who are no longer alive. I think Jaren is carrying a part of the architect's entire race inside him." Jaren sat up. "They're scared. They think the galaxy will break again. They chose me to stop it." In the night, Jaren's dream that night, Jaren's mind drifted again. He found himself standing in a broken city, floating in space. The stars were cracked. The air was frozen. Shadows walked around him, whispering. A voice called out from the dark. "Do you know what happened before?" Jaren turned and saw a tall figure in glowing white armor. Its face was hidden. "Who are you?" Jaren asked. "I was like you, chosen, merged, trusted, and then I failed." Suddenly, Jaren saw the memory of the war the architects tried to stop. Planets burned. Ships were turned into dust. Civilizations collapsed. The voice continued. "Peace is not given. Peace is forced. That was our mistake." "So what do I do?" Jaren asked. The figure whispered, "Don't become one of us. Be better." And everything went dark. Morning, a new message. When Jaren woke up, the ship's alarm buzzed. Signal had arrived in old frequency, repeating a single message. "Jaren Cole, if you can hear this. I am Commander Tesh of the Old Guard. The core has activated. We know what comes next. We must reach the gate before the others." General Marcus and Lena listened closely. "This is real," Jaren said. "There were others before me. The core chose others. But they failed. They died trying. Marcus frowned. What's this gate they mentioned? It's the central lock, Jaren explained. The final part of the galaxy shield. It's hidden behind a black hole. Only I can reach it now, and if I don't, this time the galaxy won't survive. Elsewhere, the Vornok response inside. A Vornok warship, leaders argued. He has activated memories of the architects. That means the lock will open soon. But he hasn't turned into a weapon yet, said one. Another Vornok, older and scarred, growled. He's still human. That's the only reason we haven't attacked. But if the voices take full control, he'll become something worse than any army. They sent a final order. Watch the human. Protect him if he chooses peace. Destroy him if he becomes the machine. Meanwhile, an unexpected ally transmission reached the Vigilant Dawn. It came from a small drone ship. The screen lit up with a strange symbol. Lena frowned. That's Kaeda Tech. The alien named Alren, who had warned Earth earlier, appeared on the screen. You did not listen before, he said calmly. But now you must. If Jaren Cole reaches the central lock, it will not just end war, it may erase freedom. The system is flawed. You must make him choose carefully, Jaren replied. I already made my choice. I'll stop the war, but not by forcing the galaxy to kneel. I'll fix the shield, but keep our freedom. Aren nodded. Then you will need help. We will guide you, ... if you stay human. Final moments a warning from the voices that night. Jaren heard one last voice, clearer than all the others. She is coming. Jaren stood up suddenly. Sweat covered his face. Who? Lena asked. The last architect, Jaren said. She was the one who designed the core. She's not dead like the others. She lives. She's waiting at the lock. What does she want? Jaren looked at the stars. She wants to see if I will become her, or destroy her. The human warship Vigilant Dawn floated near the edge of the galaxy. The stars here were dim. Silence felt heavy. Commander Jaren Cole stood in the control room, watching a black hole swirl slowly outside the window. That black hole was not just any hole in space. It was the door to the central lock, the final part of the galaxy shield, a machine that could stop every war or control every life. But before Jaren could reach it, Earth gave a new order. Earth Command, secret message. John Earth's high-ranking generals sat around a long table. Their faces were serious, their voices quiet. General Marcus spoke first. He is changing. The longer he carries the core, the less human he becomes. An officer nodded. If he reaches the lock, we won't be able to stop him. He could shut down every weapon in the galaxy, even ours. Another added, he may not use it for war, but he could become a god. Marcus gave the final order. Send a shadow unit. Do not tell the crew of Vigilant Dawn. If Jaren resists, terminate him. On the ship, Jaren sat in the ship's medbay, eyes closed. The architect voices whispered louder now. They warned him again. Your own kind will fear you. They will try to stop you. Jaren opened his eyes and said quietly, I know. Lena entered the room. You okay? I heard them again. But it's not just the architects. I feel something else. Like a knife behind my back. You think Earth will betray you? He nodded. I don't just think it. I feel it. Elsewhere, the assassins arrive. A black stealth ship entered the system quietly. It had no flags, no names. Just soldiers in dark armor, trained to follow secret orders. They had one goal. Stop Jaren Cole. Alive if possible. Dead if necessary, they approached Vigilant Dawn using a fake signal. Back on Vigilant Dawn, strange arrival, the captain received the message. We're getting visitors. Small science team from Earth. They say they're here to help us scan the lock. Jaren heard the news. His face went cold. They're not scientists, he said. How do you know? I can feel it, like a pressure. Behind my eyes, Earth sent a kill order. Lena looked shocked. Wouldn't they already did? The betrayal begins. The fake science team arrived. They wore clean white suits, smiled, spoke politely, But Jaren noticed small things. Too quiet, too perfect, too late. One of them pulled out a hidden plasma blade and lunged. Jaren moved faster. He grabbed the attacker's wrist and twisted hard. The blade dropped. Jaren kicked him back with such force the wall cracked. "Take them down," Jaren shouted. Lena and the crew fought the assassins in a quick, brutal fight. One soldier fired a shot, but Jaren raised his hand. Madeira and dropped. "Architect tech," he said. After the fight broke in trust, the attackers were tied up in the brig. One of them finally spoke. "You were a hero, Jaren. Earth trusted you. Now you're just a machine in a human body." "I'm still human," Jaren said quietly. "But Earth stopped trusting me before I even changed." Lena looked at him. "What do we do now?" Jaren looked out the window again, toward the black hole. "We go forward. With or without Earth's blessing." Secret message from General Marcus later. Duran received a private message from Earth. It was from General S. His face appeared on the screen. "Serious cold. You were once one of us. We trusted you with our soldiers, our people. You are something we fear. Talk like a man, but walk like a god." Marcus leaned forward. "If you activate the central lock, you won't just stop war. You'll destroy balance. You'll break every empire. So I say this once. Turn back, or Earth will treat you as a threat." The screen went black. Jaren stood still. Then he smiled just a little. "I didn't come this far to turn back." The Qatari returned just as the vigilant Dawn prepared to approach the black hole. Another ship appeared nearby. It was the alien race Qatari. Your leader Alrin sent a message. "You were attacked by your own kind," Alrin said calmly. Expected, Jaren nodded. "You still want to stop me?" "No," Alrin said. "Now we want to see what choice you make. The core listens to you. The lock will obey only you. The galaxy waits, not for war, but for your decision." Last warning. Inside the black holodron stood near the ship's drop pod, ready to enter the black hole. The architect voices inside him spoke louder than ever. "You are close. The lock sleeps, but she waits for you." Lena asked, "Who is she?" "The last architect," Duran said. "The one who built the lock. The one who controls its final code. I don't know if she's alive or just another ghost. But I have to face her." Lena looked at him. "Do you trust her?" "I don't even trust myself," Jaren said. "But I know one thing: if we don't finish this, Earth won't be the only world betrayed." The drop pod shook as it entered the edge of the black hole. Time slowed. Light bent. Nothing felt real. But Jaren Cole sat quietly, eyes closed, hands resting on his knees. This was it, the final gate, the place where the central lock was hidden. A place where the last architect waited. Vigilant Dawn outside the black hole. Lena stood on the bridge of the ship, watching the swirling hole in space. The crew was silent. "Do you think he'll survive?" one officer asked. Lena nodded slowly. "He's stronger than he knows. He's not just fighting gravity. He's fighting himself." Inside the black hole, arrival, the drop pod landed. Softly on a floating platform made of glowing metal, Jaren stepped out. He looked around. There was no sky, no ground, just light, floating stones, and massive structures twisting in the air. It was beautiful and terrifying. At the center of it all stood a figure. She was tall, glowing silver and white. Her face was smooth, not quite human, not quite alien. Her voice echoed in his mind before she even spoke. "You made it." Jaren nodded. "You're the last one." She smiled gently. "I am the final echo, the last architect. My name is Sirai." The truth revealed. Sirai led Jaren across the platform. Images floated around them, stars being born, planets forming, ancient machines building peace across galaxies. "This is what we once were," she said. "We did not want war. We wanted order." "But you failed," Jaren said. "Yes," she replied softly. "We made a system so strong it took away choice. That was our mistake. Peace turned into control. And when the other species rebelled, we were erased. Jaren stopped walking. Then why bring me here? Why give me the core? 'Cause you're different. You were born in chaos, grew through war. Pot chose mercy. He looked at her. Earth doesn't trust me anymore. Aliens fear me. Even I'm not sure who I am now. Sarai turned toward him. You are the bridge between what was and what can be. But I will not activate the lock for you. Jaren frowned. Why not? She raised her hand. Because you must. Decide first, what kind of peace do you believe in? A choice with no easy answer, a new platform rose from the ground. 2 glowing keys floated in the air. 1 key will rebuild the galaxy shield as it was complete control. No weapons, no war. But no freedom, Sarai explained. The second will destroy the lock forever. Freedom remains. But war will never stop. Jaren stared at the keys. So it's peace with no freedom? Or freedom with no peace? Sarai nodded. That is the choice. We made the wrong one. Will you do better? Memories returned suddenly. Voices filled Jaren's head again. But this time, they weren't just the architects. He heard his old team soldiers who died under his command. He heard Lena's voice, calling his name in battle. He heard the scream of a Vornok child from a planet destroyed by war. So much pain, so much loss. And still, a small voice inside him said, there must be another way. Meanwhile, Earth and Vornok prepare for war back in real space. Earth's fleet gathered near the edge of the system. The Vornok ships arrived too. Tension filled the air. If he activates the lock, said General Marcus, we may lose all control over our forces. The Vornak commander growled. If he destroys the lock, chaos will return. We will burn each other again. Lena tried to speak to both sides. He's not choosing for one race. He's choosing for everyone. No one should have that power. Marcus said, then why did you try to kill him? She shot back. He had no answer. Back inside the lock, the unexpected third option Jiran looked at both keys. His hands didn't move. I can't choose either, he said. Sarai looked at him. Then you choose nothing.
Ah!
And the galaxy returns to war. No, Jaren said. I choose something you never imagined. He took both Kazan and smashed them together. A wave of energy rushed through the chamber. Light flashed. Time paused. What are you doing? Sarai cried. I'm rewriting the code, Jaren said. Not control, not chaos, but balance. The shield must not be a gadget, must be a mirror. Sarai fell to her knees. Impossible. But the core inside Jaren glowed brighter than ever. New patterns formed in the air codes written by both architect and human. A new kind of system began to form. The architect's return. As light as the shield reset itself, the air filled with shining figures. Not just Sarai, but thousands of architects. They were not alive, but they were not dead. Thank you, they whispered together. You gave us peace. Then they vanished, finally free. Jiran falls, the platform faded. Jiran collapsed to the ground. His body glowed bright then, went still. His final breath left his lungs, but his eyes held a peaceful light. The black hole pulsed once and calmed. Inside the ship, vigilant dawn, alarms stopped. Lights flickered back to normal. Lena stared at the dark screen. No message, no signal, nothing. Did we lose him? One crew member asked softly. She didn't answer. Her hands gripped the railing. Her eyes filled with tears. Jaren, she whispered, please. At the edge of the lock, silence on the shattered platform near the central lock, Jaren Cole lay motionless. His armor was cracked. His body no longer glowed. The keys had vanished. The last architect was gone. For 23 seconds, there was no movement. Not even a breath. The 24th second then. His finger moved. Just a twitch. His chest lifted slowly. Air entered his lungs again. But something had changed. When Jaren opened his eyes, they were no longer glowing. They were just human. Real. Tired. Alive. He looked up at the empty sky above the lock and gave a weak smile. I'm still here. Across the galaxy, peace without control in that moment. Every ship, station, and planet that once held weapons linked to the architect system received a new signal. Peacekeeper protocol erased. All control systems deactivated. Manual choice restored to every world. The Vornok fleet powered down their automatic targeting. The Earth generals stared at their silent consoles in confusion. A Kayatari station received a final message. Balance returned. Let them choose. On Earth, General Marcus watches. In silence, inside the war room on Earth, General Marcus stood alone. His officers whispered behind him. It's done, one said. No force fields, no control codes, but also no galactic weapon left behind. Marcus looked at the stars on the screen. He did it, he said quietly. He didn't take power. He gave it up. A pause. Earth was ready to kill him for it. Back on the ship, Jaren returns. A small emergency pod floated out of the black hole. The ship's sensors picked it up. Commander Cole's signature? Someone shouted. He's alive? Lena ran to the bay. When the door opened, she froze. Jaren was on one knee, armor damaged, face pale. But he looked up and smiled. Miss me? She laughed, then ran to hug him. You crazy idiot, she whispered. Still breathing, he said. Yeah, that counts for something. The galaxy reacts soon. The news spread everywhere. Jaren Cole survived the lock. Core reset. No one controls peace now. A human made the architects let go. On alien worlds, statues of warriors were taken down. On human colonies, people marched not for war, but for unity. And in dark corners of the galaxy, those who waited for chaos now had to think twice, because peace had returned, but not by force, by choice. Later, quiet Momenturin sat alone under a small dome on a peaceful moon. No battles, no orders, no voices in his head, just silence. Lena brought him coffee and sat beside him. No voices, she asked. No ghosts, he said. Not even architect dreams. He shook his head. They're gone. Free. And so am I. She smiled. So what now? Jaren looked at the stars. I don't know, maybe build something. Help people. I'm tired of destroying. She raised an eyebrow. The Iron Wolf wants to be a teacher, he laughed. I want to be anything but a weapon.
Ass.
The final voice that night as he closed his eyes. A small whisper touched his thoughts. Not from the core, not from the architects, from deep inside himself. You made the right choice. Credits roll. What came after the Vornok and humans signed the first peaceful treaty in their history? The Kaitari opened their libraries to all species. A new council was formed, not ruled by fear, but by shared voice. Children learned about the man who died once and came back twice. Not to rule, but to remind everyone that peace is not given, it is chosen. Final. Seen Jaren's legacy. Years later, on a small world, a statue stood in a garden. It was not tall or made of gold. It's a simple stone. It showed a man sitting on a bench, hand open, no weapon, no armor. A message was carved beneath it. He fell in battle, but what followed? 23 seconds later shook the galaxy.